Today I'd like to encourage you to read the first 28 verses of the first chapter of the Gospel of Mark. Mark was the first gospel, as far as we know, to be written down. We believe both Matthew and Luke had access to Mark's gospel in composing their own stories of the life, passion, and resurrection of Jesus. Mark is the shortest of all the Gospels. It's filled with action. You hear the word, and immediately, Jesus is on the go doing things. Mark is barely 16 chapters long compared to Luke, which is 24 chapters, Matthew, which is 28, and John, which is 21. So Mark has the fewest words of Jesus, and Jesus is this constant whirl of activity. So that's a little background for Mark's gospel, and we believe that it reflects Peter's recollections and experience with Jesus relayed to John Mark, who composed the gospel. Our verse for today is verse 17, and it's a familiar one. And Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." For those of you who've been a part of Brewster Baptist Church for many years, you may recall that this is the verse that is part of the image that we have of an abandoned boat with an abandoned net and oars, with our motto, if you will, that the adventure of a lifetime begins here. And we have always said, we don't mean that arrogantly or in any way to assume that the adventure of a lifetime begins only at our church. The intent is that the adventure of a lifetime begins when we respond to the invitation of Jesus to follow him as his disciples and to go and fish for people on behalf of Jesus and the kingdom of God. You may recall that this comes as Jesus begins preaching, and he's passing along the Sea of Galilee, and he sees Simon and Andrew, and those are the ones who Jesus speaks these words to first, and they become part of Jesus' innermost circle of those who are closest to him throughout his life and ministry. And it's a reminder, these verses, that the call to follow Jesus absolutely involves not just Jesus making my life better, it's about Jesus has a job for us to do. Simon and Andrew trade in their fishing nets for nets of communication and relationship to try to bring other people into proximity to Jesus, relationship with Jesus that will change their life. So if you consider yourself a disciple of Jesus, remember that's a call to adventure. It's a call to a daily journey of following Jesus, and one that always takes us and pushes us outside of ourself and our own needs or hopes or concerns or wants, and pushes us, you are and I am, to always be fishing for people who we can draw to Jesus. Happy fishing.